Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, hi, hello and welcome. My name is Kate and I'm just a hopeless romantic that loves to read. So today's video, I'm actually really excited to do this video. So I kind of want to go through all the series in my reading life. So the ones I finished in 2025, the ones I'm currently in the middle of, and the ones that I want to start. I feel like this is going to be a very accountable driven video in a sense, because it's always going to be something I can look back onto as well, considering we're still in January, just scraping by. But I thought that this would be a perfect video to also show you what I have read, what I'm in the middle of as well. I know that I'm very nosy and I want to know what people are in the middle of, how they're finding series that they're actually in, you know, if they're going to complete a series, if they're waiting for it to be completed as well. But yeah, so I think that this will be a helpful but also insightful kind of video, in my opinion. If it isn't, I'm sorry. But anyways, guys, without further ado, grab a drink, get cozy, and let's get on into these series. So guys, I want to start off with the series that I actually completed in 2025. If you follow me on my other platforms, you would know that I think like in the last 4 months, I was like, nope, I'm not starting any more series. I did. But I want to get up to date or complete the series that I'm in, which I think I did pretty good with what I had and the motivation I had towards the end of the year and the free time I had. So I did start a couple as well, which I'm annoyed a little bit about, but that I'm not really, because some of them finish up this year as well. So they are obviously priority. So the first series that I actually finished in 2025, started and finished, was the Twisted series by Anna Huang, and I devoured these. I ate these up. Okay, so we start off with Twisted Love. A lot of people can't really read this, or they DNF it, they don't get through it, they don't enjoy it. I thought it was a great book. Thought it was a good start, introduction to the characters, because all of this series follows 4 girls that are all in college, and it all starts here. Then you move on to Twisted Games, which overlaps, and this is a bodyguard ex-princess, age gap, forbidden romance. I ate this up. This was my favorite book of the series, one of my favorite books of the year. I just finished rereading it as well, and I still feel all of the same things. And then Twisted Hate, the third book, lost me. Very lackluster. Some scenes in this I didn't agree with. I'm not a hateful person, and I don't think I'm ready in my journey to go through some of the things that were in here. Just didn't agree with it. But then Twisted Lies, the 4th book, brought it back up. Christian and Stella, loved their story. And to watch them both blossom throughout the entire series and kind of get a better understanding, because we start in college and then we go all the way through. I think we go through like 6 years in these books. I know we go through 4 years in Twisted Games and they all kind of overlap. But yeah, I think that this is a perfect series if you are wanting to dip your toe into darker themes to see if you like them. I personally didn't expect to like some of the things that I did, particularly the things that happened in the end of Twisted Lies, but I was okay with it. I wasn't grossed out. It was a bit gruesome, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I do recommend this if you are in the newer end of reading and you're still trying to work out your tastes, what you're vibing with, what you want to read. I think that this is a great series to read. Now, the next series that I picked up and I just plowed my way through was the Powerless series by Lauren Roberts. Now, technically, I haven't completed this because I haven't read the novella Fearful, which is the last thing you're meant to be reading, but it is a powerful story. It's not actually a part of the trilogy, so to speak. And I kind of know what it's about, and I don't really think that this was necessary, even though I haven't read it, so I'm not really gravitated towards it, but I thoroughly enjoyed these 3 books with the novella after the first book. So we have trials in this one. We have a very character-driven story when it comes to this. There's not a whole lot of plot. The first book probably has the most plot, but by the time you get to the last book, Fearless, there's no plot. It's just character, okay? The words that Kai Azar, MMC, speaks in this is phenomenal. This is a YA romantasy, and there are no spy scenes, and I think that this is a good place to start if you're not ready to try and understand the complexities of a fantasy world, because I think that this is very basic, very simple, very predictable for some. If you have read a lot of romantasy, it can seem a little childish, I think, particularly in Reckless, but you kind of get over that because it's the words they speak and what they go through in that journey book. I do recommend this. I do recommend giving it a go. I do recommend you reading the first book and seeing how you play with that at the end and how you feel. This novella, Powerful, this is such an emotional book. It packs a punch with the events that happen in Powerless. So I do recommend reading that. I sobbed like a little girl. But anyways, I read and completed this series and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I even have some special editions here because I loved their romance story so much. Now in 2025, I also started and finished a god tier sports romance series, and I think you can guess what it is, but it is the Windy City series by Liz Tomforty. I devoured these books so quickly. I had such a good time reading these books in these worlds. They are all 4.5 to 5 stars to me. This is an infinity rated series. I want to read them all again. I loved it so much. So we go with book 1. We have Xander's and Stevie's. So Xander's is a reformed playboy. He is a professional hockey player. We have Stevie, who is a flight attendant. She is a curvy girl rep. This book was a little long, not gonna lie, but once you get through this and you set up the world and get through the characters and you appreciate what Liz is building, it's just phenomenal. I think if you can look past Xander's being a little bit of a man-child at the start, and because he really does grow up, guys, he does grow up. I know everyone says different things, but he does show a much better person that he is, I think, if that makes sense. But yeah, this was book 1, and then you move on to The Right Move, Ryan Shea and Indy. Guys, this is a lot of people's top books, and Ryan Shea, he's an acts of service man, okay? They are roommates in this. Indy is Stevie from the first book's best friend. Ryan is Stevie's brother. It's just, there's an upgrade trope in this. Indy upgrades. There's just so much that happens in this. God, you can't speak highly enough of it once you read it. I highly suggest going through this series to read this, because then they just get better and better, because we go into Caught Up, we move into baseball, and Kai is a single dad. Miller is the coach's daughter. She's also a pastry chef. The optimism in this, the patience in this, just there's a lot of emotional things that happen in this, and it is so beautiful. This is also a lot of people's first picks, but my first pick is actually the 4th book, Play Along. We follow Isaiah and Kennedy. He has been pining for Kennedy for like 2 years, ever since her engagement fell through. They have an accidental Vegas marriage that turns into a marriage of convenience to help her keep her job, because she is actually a physician on his baseball team. Isaiah is also Kai from the 3rd book, little brother. So there's also a moment in here that is just gut-wrenching, but it was necessary. You kind of saw it coming. But this was my favorite book. He is a golden retriever through and through. Love. And then you hit the final book, which is Rio and Hallie's book. So Rio, you follow him right from the beginning, because he is also on Xander's hockey team. And guys, the best friends to lovers, you know, they were childhood love sweethearts. They waited 6 years, and the things that they went through, the stuff that is uncovered during the flashback periods, it's just phenomenal through and through. This was such a beautiful wrap up to this entire series. And also we're lucky enough to be getting kind of a spin-off book with Miller, who is the FMC in the 3rd book, the coach's daughter. The coach, Monty, and Reese, we're getting their spin-off book, because they were just such great co-characters. I don't know what you would call it. Just the found family in this, like they're all friends, they're all mates, they all end up having families. Like, it's just phenomenal. You go through quite a bit of time going through these books as well. Whatever Liz Tomforty writes, I will forever read. Then guys, I had done so much contemporary romance in the start of the year that I was like, I need to dabble into my romantasy again. So I've seen so many people, and I have been wanting to read this, but the Legends of Thezmarr series by Helen Shura, I think that's how you say it, was phenomenal. On Kindle Unlimited, I smashed through these with books in between because this was such a consistent series all the way through that you weren't left needing the next book right away, but you wanted to still read it kind of vibe. So it was just everything that you wanted more from a romantasy. If you've read Akata and you loved Cassian and you want someone a bit more brutier, then you need to read Wilder and Thea's story, because Thea was very much also like Celine from Throne of Glass. Right? They live in a world where females aren't allowed to train to be warriors, and she gets the opportunity to prove herself, to be a warrior, to train with the men. And also in this world, the warriors, there's a top warrior. They're called ward swords. They're gifted by the gods, and that's what she wants to become. That's where she's training to become. But in this world, they have veils to other worlds that start splitting, and these dark shadow monsters come in, so they've got to protect the realm. And that's basically the preface of that, and it just follows through from there. And we get introduced to a lot of found family in this. I mean, Kip, he is so funny. Cal, love him through and through. You are going to fall in love with all these side characters to the point that you're going to go into the spin-off, which I haven't started yet, but you're going to want to dive into that spin-off just to see what else happens after the events that happen in these 4 books. They're all roughly the same size as well, so you're not getting like 300-400 pages and then to like 600-900 pages towards the end. Okay, they're all pretty consistent. After you finish Slaying the Shadow Prince, which is the novella that is set in this world, I highly recommend reading that. You don't have to, but I highly recommend you do after the 3rd book. It makes so much sense to place it there. But to go in then into the last and final book, you just get all your questions answered and more. Like, I cannot express to you how happy I was with the ending and knowing everything that I wanted to know, but didn't know that I also needed to know as well. Like, you just get so much in this. It's such a good, solid romantasy series that I recommend this to beginners, people that want to kind of go back to their beginning stage feelings when they were reading romantasy for the first time. I highly recommend this series through and through. Now, also in 2025, I started my Elsie Silver journey, and I started with her very first series, and that is the Gold Rush Ranch series. I loved this series, and if everyone's raving about her other series like Chestnut Spring and Rose Hill, God, I'm in for a treat, because I devoured these so quickly. They're not the biggest books in the world either, but you know, we have 2 brothers in the first 2 books. We have also in the 2nd book military PTS rep, which was so good. We meet Violet, who is the sister of the Eaton brothers that are in the Chestnut Spring series. So I kind of got an introduction to what her brothers are like, so that's making me so excited for the Chestnut Spring series. But then we have Frontrunner. Did not understand the yearning that I needed from a book and what I expected from a man. It was just phenomenal through and through. He proved himself for about 80% of the book that he wasn't the bad guy, even though he was in the first 2 books. It was just a beautiful story. And then the age gap, silent love, and the ending to this, just, I did not expect it. I didn't know which way it was going to go or how it was going to happen, but I thoroughly enjoyed this series through and through, and I will recommend this series. I think it's severely underrated. No one talks about this stuff enough. And at the end of the first book, there is like a little 100-page novella about someone that's in here that you love dearly. But yeah, this is about horse racing ranches. If you don't like horse racing or support it, I give it a go, because it is still basically a romance, small town cowboy vibe. But there are racing elements within it, particularly in the 2nd book, because Violet is a rider. So yeah, if you can muscle it, read it. If you don't really care, read it. That's all I can say. And then the last kind of series duet that I read or listened to was the Haven River Ranch series by Devney Perry. So we have Crossroads and Sunlight. I thoroughly enjoyed Crossroads so much, right? It's a resort ranch that his family has owned Wests, and the FMC has been visiting there since she was 10 with her family every single vacation. They just grew into each other, had a relationship. A thing tore them apart, and then years later she came back, but not as a guest but as the owner. So there's a lot of anger and resentment in the start, but you have a lot of flashbacks, and our FMC is so genuine and just wants the best for the family and the ranch and everything that happens. I really did enjoy this. And then we move on to Sunlight. Jax is the brother of West, and he was so promising, honestly. But the accidental pregnancy trope and, God, what's the FMC? Sasha, she was infuriating. She was insufferable in this. I'm glad I read the book. I just think that if you accidentally pregnant with someone and they're there for you, like, let them in, let them help. If they want to be involved, like, really let them be involved. But she didn't. It was insufferable for 80% of the book, but I went all the way through because Jax was such a promising character. I'm glad it had a good ending, but God, it was a trudge to listen to. Honestly, I was like screaming at the car. I was like, hurry up and just take him in. Let the man help. But anyways, it was still a really good duet. And I think I might try another series from Devney Perry because I haven't actually read too much of her stuff. So I think I'm going to continue in her world and see if I like anything else from her. But I loved Crossroads. Okay, so those are all the series that I finished and completed in 2025. Now, I have a bunch of series that I'm in the middle of that are either incomplete or they are completed, but I still haven't finished. So that's what we're going to go through now. Straight off the bat, I have the Playing for Keeps series by Becca Mack. I have not read the newest release, Breathe With Me, okay? I'm not ready for the destruction that this book is going to give me, to the fact that it has the fertility struggles in it. I haven't read anything like it. I know it's going to hit the soul hard, but yeah, I'm not ready to leave this world, guys. But I know I do, because we have such a beautiful found family. I actually think Unravel Me, Adam's story, is just so underrated. Phenomenal. And then we have Jax with Fall With Me. His story, his silent love, I loved him so much. But I know that Kara and Emmett's story, because we've had them all the way through, they're the mum and dad of the group, to have their story to end out this season is going to be so rough to read. It's going to be so impactful because I know we have a lot of flashbacks in this. I know it's very spicy as well. This is a very spicy series. Yeah, God. If you can get through the first book, because I know a lot of people can't. I mean, Carter literally calls his diddly his sword of thunder. So if you can get past his man-child antics, because he is throughout, then do it. And like his sister and his other, what's the other MMC? Garrett. Right, he has his hockey player best friend Garrett, his little sister. They become roommates. This is a very inexperienced she is, so they have a lot of fun in that one. But yeah, single mum in the Unravel Me series, Silent Love, and then we also have Fall With Me, which is Jax, one of the girls, their roommates, and that was just a sweet, beautiful acts of service story. But yeah, Breathe With Me, I need to do that. I really just need to do that. This is a good series. This is a really good series, okay? It's a good series. It's an ice hockey romance series. It's really good. Now, another series that is completed that I haven't finished yet is the Artifacts of Urano series by Nisha J. Tooley. I have read the first 2 books, okay? So the first book, we have Trials, we have Forced Proximity, we have Dual POV, but the Dual POV actually isn't our main character in this, because he doesn't turn up until the second book, our actual MMC there. So there's a bit of like a love triangle going on. I think that this was a bingeable book, and so was the second one. It didn't leave me on such a cliffhanger that I instantly needed to go to book 3 and 4, but I am still thinking about what is going on in these, and I keep thinking I need to pick these up. So that is saying something. This is an incredibly bingeable series. I think that this is also very good if you are new to romantasy. I also think this is very good if you did like kind of Thrown a Glass, but with more spice and told in a shorter version so far. Because again, I haven't finished this, but I am enjoying this very much. Very different. The world, the kingdoms. Yeah, this is a great series. I need to finish it. Also, too, in book 2, there was like fake dating and a one horse. It was just everything you wanted and more. Now, another series that I did start last year, and it did finish last year, but in my defense, the last book didn't come out until December 30th. So that is the When in Rome series. Yes, I am missing the first book, actually called When in Rome, but this is by Sarah Adams. I am obsessed with this series, right? The first 2 books are closed door romances, and then we start getting spicier. I hear that this last book, In Your Dreams, is the best. of them all, the yearning. And I think James is like everyone's new book boyfriend of 2026 or the end of 2025. So I know I need to read this. It follows a small town family. Noah is the brother in the first book, and then we have the three sisters. They all just live such different lives, and I think this is just a great start series if you are starting your reading journey and you're not sure if you want spice, but you know, you want to get involved with the stories. They aren't that long, okay? You're not so emotionally invested that you have to read through 400 or 500 pages. These are all under 400, even under 350, most of them. I just love this world, this story, and I need to pick this up because I know I can read it easily in like 2-3 days. So I just need to do it, okay? And then I was missing my college ice hockey romance, so I picked up Collide by Belle Carver, and I devoured this. If you liked Icebreaker, or if you didn't like Icebreaker, you found it too spicy, not enough emotional depth, didn't like the plot, pick this up. Give it a go. I highly recommend it. I enjoyed this. This was like academic's rival. She was an academic. He was the captain of the ice hockey team. Rivals to lovers. It was a good time, but I haven't read the next two, and I know they just get better and better as it goes on with some of the people that I follow. They really love how this whole series is playing out, and the fourth book comes out in March. So I really need to read these two in February, but we'll see how we go, okay? But I am thoroughly enjoying this as a new ice hockey college romance. It is a good time, at least the first book was, but yeah, I need to read these. Now this next one, I'm not holding up the entire series because there is a series, but they have duets in the middle. I've just started it. The first duet, Serpent and the Kings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. This is the Nightborn duet. There is an entire series coming out. So I think there's going to be like 3 or 4. I think there's going to be 4 duets because I think there's like 4 kingdoms in this, if I remember correctly. 1, 2, 3. No, there's only going to be 3 duets in this. I know the first one is a good one. Everyone questions the second one. So the third one comes out at the end of the year in October. So I really do want to finish the first duet and then take my time with the second. There is also novellas in between, which people say to read and then some people don't. So I need to do my own research on that. But I really loved this first book so much. I loved that she was a human adopted by a fey king, trained with all these vampires. I loved the magic system. The games and trials in this was definitely something different because we have enemies to reluctant allies to lovers. It was just a good seamless kind of plot and storyline as well. And the twist at the end, my jaw was on the ground. I did instantly was like, oh, I need to keep going. I need to know what happens. But then it kind of settled and I was like, it's all right. I actually still remember. So we can keep going on with other things, but I will finish this duet. The series I might take my time with, but I do need to finish the duet, okay? I will finish the duet. Now the next one, the second book got a lot of flack, so I haven't picked it up, okay? It is the Alchemy and Fae series by Kelly Hart. So I have read Quicksilver at the start of 2025. I haven't visited it again. Brimstone came out. So much controversy, so much heat on this book. However, this is a trilogy and I think the last book is coming out October this year. Am I reaching to go through this world again, considering the size of these books? No, not yet. But I will, okay? These are going to be something that I reread and then read towards the end of the year. I will take the time to do so. But for now, I won't be reaching for these. However, I will be, okay? I do have the 2 deluxe reversible dust jacket colors. I don't like these new covers at all. I don't like that Kelly Hart is right there, the same size as Quicksilver. It just seems like it's all one big ass title. Not a fan. However, I digress because the story from the first book was incredible. I know that a lot of people think that it was predictable or it was drawing a lot of elements from other fantasy worlds, but Fourth Wing did the same. ACOTAR does it. All of these popular romances do it. So shut up or don't read it at all. Now this next series, I thought I was up to date. Then I wasn't, and now I'm definitely not because the newest release just came out and I still haven't even picked that up. But we have Tessa Bailey's Big Shot series. I ate up the first 2 books so quickly. Fangirl down. Wells Whitaker and Josephine's story was so good. We have Grumpy X Sunshine, workplace romance. I had so much fun with this. The devotion, the obsession, the protectiveness of Wells to Josephine was great. thoroughly enjoyed. Then we have Single Dad, Ex-Nanny. He is an ice hockey player. They're friends. They're all friends. They're all interconnected. But I loved this. This was funny. This was a really funny one. Tallulah is Josephine's best friend. Yeah, it was a great setup in this book for these two, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Then we moved into Dream Girl drama. Instant Love. She was a ditzy blonde. He is also a hockey player. It wasn't my favorite book. It's the shortest book. You know, they start off with this cute meet, instant love. Then they find out that their parents are getting married. Yeah, she's sheltered as fuck. But other than that, it was a good story. It just wasn't my favorite tropes in a story. Then we have Picture Perfect, which is a baseball one. No idea what it's about, to be fair. But I need to read this one. And then we have Catch Me If You Can. That's just been released too. So I need to pick that up when I'm not in a book buying bed and finish off this series. I don't know if there's any more coming out, but God, Tessa Bailey. Yes, she recycles her formula every single time. Most of the time. I mean, Dream Girl drama wasn't. But it works. It's so bingeable. They're good books. They're solid reads. I love her books. Tools of Engagement, that whole series. Hook, Line, Sinker, that series. Loved it. Highly recommend Tessa Bailey. Such great romantic comedies. Now let's go through the incomplete series, but I am up to date with them, okay? And the first one is B.K. Borison's First Time Caller. Yes, this is book 1. Book 2 is about to come out. I'm excited for it. I'm ready because this was my favorite book of 2025. The Sleepless in Seattle retelling, the romance in this. She's a single mom, you know, she never gave up on love. Her take on love, what she says, her words, I just resonated so much with. Aiden, little lackluster, but you know, it was fine. It worked. Like she and his dynamic, like him helping her try and date, but having that yearning for her as well. And, you know, it was just so giddy and lovely. Like if their knees touched underneath the table, like you get so giddy inside. It was just a great read. I loved this through and through. Gave me the 90s romantic comedy that we used to see on screens. Loved it. Highly recommend this series. But yeah, I'm excited for the second book. Now this next series I read so quickly. I got up to date real fast because I was obsessed, and that is Laura Thalas's Bewitched series. I cannot believe that I had this on my shelf for about 8 months, okay? Bewitched, right? We have Celine. She is a witch. She wants to join this coven. However, there's a condition with her magic. Every time she uses it, she loses a memory and she doesn't get to pick which memory. So in order for her to be in this coven, she has to go on a magical quest and she has to find her familiar. So she does so. In that journey of finding her familiar, crash landing a plane in the Amazon rainforest, she discovers a tomb, opens it, and out pops a 2,000-year-old sorcerer that calls her Roxolana and calls her his wife. It goes from there. There is so much history between these two. There's a murder mystery in the first 2 books, and then we have a 2.5 book, Curse That Binds. This is what happens 2,000 years prior to this story. So valid, so necessary. Yes, it is chunky, but everything in this you need, okay? Because it's just set up so beautifully for book 3 whenever we're getting that. I know it's called Bedeviled. I just don't know when we're getting it. And I'm mad because I need to know the next stuff, because book 3 is going to be epic with how book 2 end and all the things that you kind of piece together in the puzzle in this like little, I don't even know what you call it, 2.5 book, because it's not a novella. But anyways, guys, I love this. If you love witches and you're into like more of a very morally grey MMC, you love that kind of dark academia vibe too. It's gothic. I loved this. Go pick this up. Now, a series that I very quickly read through at the end of last year, and I am up to date for now, that is the Lucky River Ranch series by Jessica Peterson. God, guys, I loved this small town cowboy romance, and my main preface is that there's no third act breakup, but each man is so bloody delicious. So we have 5 brothers. We have Cash, Wyatt, Sawyer, Duke, and we are waiting for Ryder's story. They're all so different. They're all so good. We have Cash's story, Grumpy X Sunshine. Molly, she comes and takes over the ranch because her dad died, so to have the inheritance she has to stay there for the year. Cash is the foreman. Rest of his brothers work on the ranch as well because Garrett took them in where their parents died. in the next door ranch over. So that kind of happens. They end up falling obviously for each other. He just wants the best for her. It's phenomenal. Then we have Wyatt and Sally. Sally is the vet's daughter who's also been a vet, but she only comes back for the summer before she takes this grand opportunity in New York City to study to be the best vet surgeon out. They have known each other since 2nd grade, her and Wyatt, and God, just the tension, the angst, everything. The miscommunication trope is there and you are shaking the book, but there's great fake dating in this, lessons as well. It's so beautiful, you know? And there's like a moment in there where she's like, but Daddy, I love him. It's such an Ariel moment. Loved it. And then we have Sawyer. We have 2 single parents here. Okay, they meet on one night out on the town. Ava with her sisters, you know, Sawyer with his brothers, have a one-night stand, but then she ends up moving to Hartsville, their small town, and their 2 daughters get on what turns into play dates and responsibilities, flourishes into a relationship. It's so, so beautiful. And then we have Duke, which is the 4th book in this series. He is the 4th brother. He is a twin 2 writer in this. God, you just feel for him, and I want his book now. But this book is an accidental pregnancy done so, so well. And the way Duke handled everything was phenomenal. This was an accidental pregnancy done so well, and I loved every second of it. The found family and all this, and the other people within the ranch and in the town, incredible. Such a great series, one of my top favorite small town cowboy romance, because they're all cowboys. It's just phenomenal. And the nicknames, oh, it's so adorable. I highly recommend this. This is on Kindle Unlimited too, guys. It's on Kindle Unlimited. Now, this next series I am up to date with and should come to no shock because I think everyone read it in January of 2025 when it was released, or was it February? No, I think it was January. But we have the Empyrean series by Rebecca Yarros, so also called the 4th Wing series because no one actually thinks that it's the Empyrean series, but that's what it's officially called. But we have 4th Wing. I read Onyx Storm at the end of 2025. We have no idea when book 4 or 5 are coming out, but I don't care. I love this series. I have read 4th Wing about 4 times. I've listened to it so many times. I'm re-listening to it actually again. We have Iron Flame. Again, reread it a lot. Onyx Storm, I haven't reread. I haven't even listened to it. I have read it once, and that was the start of last year, because the ending to each and every book just gets worse and worse in terms of like the cliffhanger that you're left with. Not that they're bad, it's just like jaws on the ground. You have 45 million questions that haven't been answered, and you're left wondering what to do with your own life in between waiting for the next book to come out. So this is the first series that I started with, well, book 1 and book 2 in 2024 with reading romantasy and getting back into reading. I am a part of this world. The Found Family is phenomenal. If you haven't read it, we follow Violet Sorrengail, who is a general's daughter. She's trained her whole life to be a scribe, so a part of like the information records keeping part of the college and the world in that they're setting in Navarre. But her mum is a writer. I was like, no, you're going to be a writer. You're going to train. If you're weak, you'll be unalived. That's how it goes. She ends up bonding dragons. It's a good time. Zayden is the rebellion's son, the rebellion leader's son. Yeah. And they're just enemies at first, but they have a connection through and through. It's such a great story. We have dragons. We have political intrigue. It's a war college. There's a lot that goes on in this. Very emotional too. The Found Family is epic all the way through, especially when you hit Onyx Storm and you start getting their POVs. It's something that just you become a part of, and it is a phenomenon for a reason. I highly recommend reading this if you haven't, and if you have, reread it. So we have gone through the series that I have completed in 2025. We have the series that I'm in the middle of currently. Either I'm up to date and they're incomplete, or they're completed and I haven't finished them. We've done those. Now, let's go over quickly, because I don't want to hear, this video is so long right now. Let's quickly go over the ones that I actually want to start this year. The first one should come to no surprise, and that is Elsie Silver's Chestnut Spring series, because I have read Gold Rush Ranch and I loved Elsie Silver's men. They're addictive. I know I'm going to eat this up. I'll probably leave this until maybe April, May over the Easter break, so I can just devour this while I have a lot of time off, because I know that once I start these books, because they're not that big, but once I start, I'm going to fly through them. So this is a priority. And then after my journey in 2025 with the Caraval series, I'm going to read the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. Now, the Caraval series I haven't completed. I finished Legendary I just don't see it in myself to finish the whole trilogy and finish finale. So I'm just going to go straight into this because I've met Jax. I know what he's about. I think I can do this. I really do think I can do this. So I'm going to be reading this beautiful YA fantasy romance trilogy. This is very fairy tale-esque, I've been told, so I'm very excited. Stephanie Garber, I like her writing. I really, really do. Just Caravel didn't hit it for me. But yeah, I'm excited to go into this because I know a lot of people love this. Now the next one, because I'm a slow burn girly through and through, and everyone and their dog tells me to read this series. So we're going to do Spark of the Everflame series. Actually, no, this is called The Kindred's Curse Saga by Penn Cole. I'm going to read this. I have special sprayed edge editions of this, and I know the fourth book probably is going to come out mid-year from what everyone's been saying. So I do have a bit of time before I tackle this series, but this is a series that I want to start and I want to get up to date with and I want to be involved in. I think it's very underrated, even though I haven't even read it yet. Just with the things that I've heard and the people that I follow that have similar reading tastes to me, I know I'm going to love and enjoy this through and through. But yeah, I don't really hear people talking about it. So it's just like, okay, was it just a thing when like they came out, but because you've had to wait for the fourth book, like, or is it because it's incomplete? I don't know. I don't know what the go is, but I know that I want to read this. Now the next one, I don't know if it's going to be a duet or a series, but it's Rachel Gillick's A Night and Moth. This is also, what is it actually called? The Stonewater Kingdom. So this is book 1. So I loved her Shepherd King duology. Okay, that was god tier for me. That is my favorite duology. I read that in 2024. Phenomenal. Love it through and through. Actually, I want to do a reread, but I don't really have time at the moment. But I have the first book in this series of hers. The next book comes out in September. They've just released the new cover and it's phenomenal. I want to read this, but I need to see if it's another duet or if there's going to be more books, because yeah, I want to start this, but I just need to do my research and due diligence. But who knows? I'm probably going to read book 1 and 2 in September when the next book comes out and then just leave it at that. So the next series I picked up because I want to get into kind of more suspense romance, but I didn't want to read, I think the Sparrow Fall series, whatever that 6-book series that just got completed. I don't want to read that just yet because that's a lot of commitment, but we have The Bourbon Boys by Victoria Wilder. I have these beautiful detailed sprayed edge kind of editions. Like these sprayed edge editions are phenomenal. They're beautiful and I'm excited to get into this world. I think the first book is like a witness protection sort of thing. I'm excited to see if I'm going to enjoy these. I think I'm going to be heavenly surprised, just like I was with the Twisted series, because I know that these are on the darker theme side. These are more spicy. So I definitely have to be in the mood for that, but I think I'm going to very much enjoy these. And now the next and last book is in a duology that's about to be completed, and that is The Rose Bargain, all right, by Sasha Payton Smith. I am obsessed with the preface of what this book is. So we have Faye set in England in 1848. Like, it sounds like it's Bridgerton and Faye put together, and I'm going to enjoy this. So this is a duet. Second one comes out very soon. I had this on my January TBR and I finished it and I loved it. So I'm excited for the next book, the final book in this duet, to come out. So there you have it, guys. Those are all the series that I completed in 2025, the ones I'm currently in, whether they're incomplete or they are completed, and then the series that I kind of want to venture towards this year in 2026 because I have the physical copies. It helps me get my TBR down. It helps me achieve my 26 books of 2026 because a lot of them are on that as well. I'm proud of what I did last year, but I'm going to try and stick to it and not start too many series, but try and wrap up the ones that I'm currently in because I am in so many. But I know a lot of them wrap up this year as well. So I'm torn between a rock and a hard place most of the time when it comes to series, as you are. I'm probably not going to ever have series that I'm not currently in the middle of. I'm never going to probably have fully completed series. I can stand here and say, hey, every time I start a series, I'm just going to finish it. But I can't do that all the time. Sometimes I'll read 1 or 2 books, or maybe 3, 4, depending on how big the series is, and then I'll pick up something else just to break it up, have like a bit of a palate cleanser or something in between. So I feel like that will just be how 2026 goes. But I feel like having this video here, having these kind of goals for 2026 as well set, will keep me accountable, because I'll always look back at this and go, oh yeah, like I said at the start of the year that I wanted to complete this series, so let's do it. Or I'm wanting to start this series, so what seems like a good place to put this series to sit down and do, just like the Chestnut Spring series over Easter. I feel like that would be great because I have time off to sit down, read and devour. But anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. If you really like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe if you want, no pressure. If you want to follow me on my other socials, I'll leave the handle on the screen. Come join the Bookish Chaos over there. And yeah, wherever you are in the world, I hope you have a great day or night, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.